Existential angst is essentially anxiety that is related to the human condition. According to most existentialist thinkers, it arises when we are confronted by the experience of human freedom and responsibility. In other words, as human beings aware of our own consciousness and therefore our freedom of choice, we may be plagued by dread and despair when we consider the numerous possibilities our lives could take. This feeling is usually accompanied by the understanding that life may have no overall meaning. And with no grander scheme or plan for how life is supposed to be lived, having to choose and be responsible for the decisions we make isn't necessarily a fun endeavor. Now, the way we encounter existential angst differs from person to person. Like any feeling, it is a subjective experience. Nonetheless, existential angst takes the form of conventional anxiety in the sense that our body prepares both a physiological and emotional reaction to a threat it perceives. This is also known as our fight or flight response. This inherent evolutionary response has proved to be useful in the past when we needed to respond to immediate threats. The options were simple: either stay and fight or run away. But in our modern world, our dangers aren't all that sudden. Frustrations at work and familial disputes are neither life-threatening nor immediate at times. Yet these can still trigger our body to overreact and cause stress. And when we have to choose between our two options in facing a stressful situation, that is, fight or flight, we almost gladly choose the latter. But fleeing an abstract scenario, such as the inevitability of our demise, isn't necessarily easy. Even if we are successful at placating our feelings in the here and now, we never properly resolve the source of our quandary. And this can nag us for the rest of our lives if we fail to do so. Additionally, the intensity of these feelings can grow over time, causing us to increase and diversify our methods of coping. It's much easier to address these feelings as early as possible. What we should do is begin to be better acquainted with our body and trust the way we feel. As counterintuitive as it may seem, we should allow ourselves to feel whatever emotions that may be bothering us, even if it's something as unpleasant as fear and anxiety. However, if you're afraid to go about this alone, then by all means talk to someone you can trust and talk to a professional. Explain what you're going through and give yourself time to articulate your feelings. It can even help to write things down or draw a picture. By talking about it and expressing it in some concrete structure, we no longer have to deal with the abstract. We give our feelings both shape and form. This makes them a lot more manageable to deal with, even when talking about facets of the human condition. We can learn to listen to our body and purge any and all emotions that needed to emerge. We'll soon find ourselves no longer slaves to our fears. We don't know why we're here and have to contend with the fact that one day we will cease to exist. But being reminded of these actualities doesn't always have to trigger uncontrollable anxiety. When we come to terms with how we feel about the reality of our existence, we can begin to make authentic choices about what we want in life. Existential angst will always surface every now and then, but we'll be able to use it as a reminder to put our lives into perspective and make the most of our time here on Earth.